About live. Now just give me 1 sec here. Hello, everybody. All right. As always, if you haven't already, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated.
We'll even take hostile people.
Huh?
We'll even take hostile people. A view is a view.
Yeah. I just don't like the drama, but yeah. So you were just telling me before we went live here that I guess some stuff going on with Bounding into Comics, namely that JDA is no longer writing for them and that they're less anti woke.
JDA has his own site now. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. I clicked the links. Comics Pulse. It's sort of like sounds like a lot of the other different sites that are very, very woke, but comicspulse.net, I want to say it is. It might be .com. I could go look it up. I don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, Bounding into Comics has been purchased by an advertising agency. So they're a lot more cautious, I guess, in their headlines and such. So, it's Fandom Pulse. Fandom Pulse.
Huh.
And it's a .com. So fandompulse.com. That's
they're the company that bought out Bounding into Comics. So, are they more? What would you say then? Are they more neutral, or do they lean one way or the other? Or
I think they're going to try to continue leaning the way they were, but they're going to be less in your face about it.
Okay, so
I haven't seen a total
kind of a right leaning slant.
Yeah,
they're just not going to be as explosive about it.
Yeah, I haven't seen them come out and say, "Oh my God, Tom King's got a new book! Yay!" So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I haven't noticed anything thus far, any like real differences in terms of because a lot of the writers, even if you do change the headline, the articles are still for the most part being written by the same writers, and they still are giving.
Well, they did get rid of their head writer, again, whose name escapes me, but he's not there anymore.
John Trent.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, wasn't he the guy who actually owned it?
Maybe he doesn't now. he's gone.
I do know like JB Augustine is still there. Nerdigan's Inc. is still there. Those guys I know are still there because I see their bylines quite a bit. Spencer Bakuli's still there. I guess I hadn't seen, but then again, it seemed like he was kind of, he was doing less and less of late anyways. But that's interesting. I mean, I still keep using them because they're still a good site, at least.
Oh yeah.
But
they're just different now, and you'll notice it as time goes on.
Yeah, as you said, they won't be as in your face about it. But
right.
Anyways, yeah. Sometimes I get a little tripped up because there's you, R.J. Carter, and then even though he's now going by the handle of the Elk of Antioch, there's J.R. Exner. So R.J. J.R. It's like I almost got that little bit of a tongue twister earlier.
Uma, Oprah, Uma. You got to be old enough to remember when David Letterman screwed up on the Oscars and did the whole Uma Thurman, Oprah Winfrey, not a joke. Nobody got it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. We're just, as I said, we're just trying to kill some time. Let's see if we can get some more people to come in. Okay. So one more time here, if you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything we talk about tonight grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer questions try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So before we get into the main event here, as it were, among other things, RJ, would you like to do a little intro? Maybe introduce yourself, share any links, talk about any projects you're doing. Floor is
No,
yours.
I am RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at CriticalBlast.com, myopic publisher for Critical Blast Publishing, and that's where we've been spending a lot of our time lately. We are in the last month of open reading for The Devil You Know Best. I will tell all of you writers out there now, we will never again have a 3-month open reading period. They will all be 2-month open reading periods. It's just too much. For 20 stories, we're sitting here looking at over 300 submissions now, and we're like, okay, we've got 60 really good stories. This is going to hurt to get 20 out of. No, we're not doing that anymore because they just keep coming. We've also put out, releasing on January the 2nd, is our first true crime book as we take on Wayne Klingman and his research into the mafia in America. So the Mafia in Hollywood is going to be in paperback for the first time on January 2nd. Check that out on Amazon and wherever books are sold, because all of our books are like that you can get them anywhere. You don't have to get them in just one spot.
Yeah. All right. So anything more or?
Anything more? We are, the fulfillment agency, Critical Blast Logistics, is running 24/7. We are expecting to take delivery of 2 really large projects coming up here in January, one being Wesley Snipes' The Exiled. So we will be doing the fulfillment on that. And then a tiny little kids book. Some people have heard of it, some people haven't, called Hunt the Littlest Umbrella. We are going to be distributing that.
So, and that's Tug's book, right?
That is Tug's 3rd book, yes.
Yeah. Now, if I could just get him to drop by and say hi once in a while, that would be nice. All right. So, anything more, or are we ready to?
We're ready. Let's read some comics.
Okay. All right. So tonight, of course, we're continuing our coverage of January of 1940. We're going over some books that eventually became part of the Harvey Comics, properties. Of course, Speed Comics is at this point still currently being published under, in January 1940, being published under Book World Publications, I believe. And then Champion Comics, which is under Worth Carnahan. So why don't we go ahead and get that all shared here. And we're going to be using Comics Book Plus tonight, because both books are on that one, but only one of the books is on the other site we use. So just keep everything kind of more uniform.
Okay.
I know you like the other site better because you can just scroll down. You don't have to worry about, stopping it.
Yeah. Take what we get. We take the good. We take the bad. We take them both.
And then you had the Back to Life.
Yeah. I was waiting.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna read 4 stories all together. We're gonna read a couple from Speed Comics. We're gonna read Shotgun. Now that one's a 22-pager. So, and then we'll read a little 4-pager, Ted Parrish, and then we'll go over to Champion Comics, volume 1, number 5, and read The Champ and Penny Wright. So that's what's on tap. So, big double-length feature, yeah, because at this point in time, 22 pages was quite a hefty page count for a story.
For a single story, yeah.
Yeah. So
the books themselves were much larger than 22 pages, and 22 pages is now the average length of a book, period. Flat
out. If you look here, it had 69 pages, 68,
yeah.
69 pages back then. So 22, that's like a third of the book right there. All right, so let's look at this, and then of course here the The fury of the skies is met by these warring aces. And of course, I know you're going to want to do the narrations, right?
Sure.
And then we'll go along and figure out who will do who. All right, so there you go. You want to read the title there, and then the first narration block.
Shock Gibson, the human dynamo.
Boy, look at that! Look at that villain right there.
Yeah, that's and his one-eyed green fuzzy hulks. That's a bad panel there. Takes up more than the screen. Charles Gibson was at work when his laboratory was struck by lightning. Some chemical and electrical reaction caused a mysterious change. Instead of killing the youth, it made him all-powerful, endowed with almost unbelievable strength and energy. The youth dedicated his powers for the service of humanity. He adapted a distinctive costume and the name Shock Gibson because using your last name in your superhero name never tells anybody who you are. Vowing to work always in the interest of fair play.
Yeah, I mean that was always a sound. Does the origin there sound familiar to you?
Sounds like the Silver Age Flash to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean very similar, huh? Fair play. That was talked about quite a bit back in these comics too.
Down a New York street speeds a heavy truck.
I've got to escape.
Pursuing it is another truck.
Let's see. We gotta get that guy or else. Yeah, or else the boss will rub us out.
You got it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you? I know we should probably switch back and forth a bit. I know. Crash!
Scintillating dialogue on this page.
Help! Oh, help!
A crowd quickly gathers.
I'll let you do the guy in blue there.
No one can help him. He'll be burned alive. Meanwhile, the other truck speeds off.
Stamp on it. We gotta scram quick.
High in a New York skyscraper is the office of Shock Gibson. He doesn't get the penthouse. He's just kind of, a little further down.
You want to do Shock? You want to do the hero today?
What was that noise? Here. Put a little Dudley Do right into it. What was that noise? That man needs help. Shock climbs out on the narrow window ledge. I've got to get down there, quick. Far below, the crowd becomes alarmed.
Don't jump! Want to do the second one there?
He's gone crazy. Shock leaps. Down to earth he plunges.
And look at his feet right there.
Yeah, they're electrical. The crowd scatters in terror.
He's jumped.
He'll be killed. The impact of Shock's landing cracks the sidewalk. Great, don't ever do that again. But owing to his marvelous powers, he is unhurt. He dashes for the burning truck. Hold out, I'll help you. And lifts it off the driver. He hurls the blazing truck down the street to a safe distance. Now we have 2 scorch marks. Who did it?
The Palooka gang. They got me. I wouldn't give them my truck. They...
Darn that Joe Palooka. An
I don't think
ambulance
it's the same
clangs up.
Palooka, though. I don't think it's the
Yeah.
same Palooka.
An ambulance clangs up. Clang, clang. Take this man to a hospital.
Who are you?
Yeah, because that matters.
Huh?
We got an
What was
injured
that,
person here,
RJ?
but you gotta know who signed him off. Do you have his insurance card? Never mind who I am. I've got work to do. With terrific speed, Shock runs down the street. I must catch that other truck. A motorcycle cop spies him.
What? A man running a mile a minute? Man, whoa, that's speeding.
Go ahead, pull him over for running.
Stop! You can't run like that in traffic.
But Shock soon outdistances the cop. Meanwhile, the truck is speeding over the famous George Washington Bridge. Somebody look up the George Washington Bridge. Tell me if that's what it looks like. Shock overtakes the truck on the bridge.
There's a man running after us. Lay off the rum, you're seeing things again.
Shock passes the truck. He makes a quick turn and charges head on at the speeding truck. He smashes against it with his terrific strength, and the truck stops as if at a stone wall.
What the?
Without a dent! Without a dent! It just stops. It doesn't crush it or nothing. With his tremendous strength, he lifts the truck as if it were a feather.
Look at that. That is kind of interesting, huh? What do you think of the story so far, RJ?
Simplistic, but that's okay. We like the simple stories. You up there! Will you talk, or shall I throw you into the river?
All right. Before I continue on, real quick here. Hail Xenu and Zio. Happy Xenu Day, Mike and RJ.
JR's got a new account.
Yeah. The Elk of Antioch. Fair play sounds like communism.
There's no such word as communism in auto racing, Marigold.
Let's see. We can't talk. The boss would kill us. I got a Tommy gun. I'll shoot through the truck floor.
That'll work. The gangster shoots through the floor.
Like this will get that freak whoever he is.
But Shock creates an electrical field of force around his body, and the bullets are harmlessly deflected. Okay then, it's into the river for you.
No! Don't we'll talk. That guy ain't human.
Shock sets the truck down and questions one of the gangsters.
We're in the Palooka gang, but a man named Von Kampf has taken charge. We get secret orders over the car radio. I believe that's who that rat face looking guy was at the beginning.
Of course. He's a German guy. Of course. Von Kampf. Just then, a motorcycle cop rides up. Hey, wasn't I just chasing you?
What's going on here?
Officer, hold these men for hit and run driving.
Wait a minute. I want to talk to...
I can't wait to talk. There's something to investigate. Shock speeds off in the gangster's truck. Because, it's faster than running. I wonder what next. Soon, a rasping voice issues from the truck's car radio. Wouldn't it be a truck radio? No, Okay, that makes sense. That's why he took the truck, because he had to wait for the incoming call. I get it now. Why, this is truck 74. I'll look into it. Truck 74, proceed to Kentucky. Yeah.
Truck 74, proceed to Kentucky, orders BK.
Von Kampf.
Now.
Yeah. Why, this is truck 74. I'll look into this. Following the mysterious instructions, Shock drives toward Kentucky. Near Cave City, Kentucky, is the famous Mammoth Cave. The passages of this vast cavern extend for hundreds of miles underground. The cave has never been entirely explored. Then how do they know? Deep in the unexplored part of this cave, far from the tourist section, lies hidden a series of huge rock caverns. Here, Baron von Kampf, a mad genius who plots to control the world by means of scientific inventions, has established his secret headquarters. He's also explored that area of the cave.
So basically, the megalomaniacal mad scientist supervillain.
Yeah,
that was kind of a bit of a meme or tome or what have you back then.
They were always German.
Are my zombies at work? Yes, Baron. They work in Cave 3.
Von Kampf's zombies, dread robot-like creatures made by the Mad Baron from parts of animals and given radio control. Really?
We need supplies. We must capture more trucks. Have the zombies go out. Yes, Baron. I'm kind of trying to get that rat kind of talk going. That's why I'm talking like this when I'm being Von Kampf.
Von Kampf's part of Mammoth Cave has a secret entrance. From one of his captured trucks emerges. On a lonely Kentucky road, Von Kampf's truck blocks the path of a heavily loaded transport truck.
Hey, get out of the way!
Suddenly, a horde of zombies pour from Von Kampf's truck. They drag the driver from the transport.
Help! Monsters, help!
While a zombie drives the captured truck to the cave, they know how to drive. Von Kampf's truck drives on in search of more loot. Another truck is about to be captured. But it is the truck Shock has driven to Kentucky. Those are zombies. This is Von Kampf's work. When the zombies advance, Shock gives them a warm reception. But one of the zombies, by his radio control, is relaying to Von Kampf's television set a picture of the fight. So it's not radio control, it's television control. And back in Von Kampf's headquarters.
Look, gentlemen, at what is coming in over my zombie television.
The television screen shows what the zombies saw.
In black and white, no less.
In black and white, no less. He's such a mad genius he couldn't invent color television? Come on.
It's that nosy Shock Gibson. But I'll lure him here, then use my man-made lightning.
Von Kamp's man-made lightning apparatus.
This man-made lightning uses millions of volts of electricity. See when I throw this switch.
A huge electric spark jumps the gap like a bolt of lightning.
Crack! It's perfect. Now to lure Chuck Gibson to this cave and his dome.
Von Kamp broadcasts to Shock by shortwave.
Truck 74. Turn right, bear left at crossroads, enter cave.
Meanwhile, Shock has subdued the zombies. Well, that's that. Back in the truck again, he gets Von Kamp's instructions on the radio.
Truck 74. Turn right, bear left.
I'll get to the bottom of this. Guided by the radio, Shock comes to the secret cave entrance. This must be part of Mammoth Cave. I'll drive in.
You know, your Shock Gibson here, you know what it's reminding me of? Do you remember the Tom Terrific cartoons? From Jay Ward?
I remember Tom Terrific. I think you're thinking, though, possibly of Tom Slick.
Tom Slick, that's probably what I'm thinking of, yeah.
There's no such word as shock in auto racing, Marigold. For miles, Shock drives in the huge cave. Look, spotlights and bat silhouettes. I know what comic book this is. Swarms of startled bats fly at the headlights. At last, Shock comes to a lighted part of the cave. Dismounting from the truck, he sees a sign. Shock enters a doorway and... Enter. I guess that means me. Emerges between the two deadly electrodes of the man-made lightning.
Now I've got him.
So let me get this straight, Von Kamp. You got a guy who generates electricity and you're going to shock him. Okay. Somebody didn't think this through.
As we've been finding out quite a bit as we've been reading a lot of these Golden Age stories, right?
Yeah. It's like, no. Hey, the guy's electrical. Why don't we spray him with water or, have him enter and it be like a big rubber pad and he's grounded and he can't do anything. No, we're going to throw electricity at him.
Oh, you should. I wish you would be watching more of our shows with when Rick or Metal are on. We apart these leaps in logic quite a bit, and even Tim as well. Yeah, we've been picking apart a lot of these leaps in logic as I've come to call them.
They're all over the place.
The man-made lightning strikes, and Shock is caught full in the huge spark.
Oh, they took a whole page there.
Wow. That's one of the first splash pages.
The terrific electrical spark drains away Shock's marvelous powers. Really? And he is temporarily paralyzed. The paralyzed Shock is seized by the zombies and carried to Von Kamp.
Ha! Ha! Prepare the cement.
A wooden form for cement is brought up, and Shock laid in it. Other zombies mix the cement.
I love these zombies. They are so multi-talented.
Yeah, considering that they seem to have no zombies usually don't have much free will to begin with.
They know how to drive. They know how to mix cement. These zombies are far more advanced than anything out of a George Romero movie. Can you imagine if Night of the Living Dead people, if they could drive cars? Zombies behind steering wheels would be terrifying. You can't get away from them as it is now, and they're just shambling along slowly. But, put them behind the wheel of a car? Seriously?
The cement is shoveled into the form.
Shovel it in, quick.
It's cement. Go slow. Then the form is torn off, and Shock lies encased in a solid block of cement.
He is now dead.
Ha ha! That is the tomb of Shock Gibson.
But Shock soon recovers from the electric charge. As he stirs himself, cracks appear in the concrete.
Is that concrete cracking?
Yes, don't you read the narrative? Suddenly, Shock sits up and smashes the concrete block. Where am I?
JR here has a...
They did. They needed rebar.
Huh. He's alive! I'd better run!
Shock starts in pursuit of the Baron.
This will throw him to my alligators.
A trapdoor opens under Shock's feet. Oops, I'm falling. He plunges into an underground river and is swept over a waterfall. In a pool below the falls, alligators. Shock seizes one of the reptiles and stuffs the beast's tail into its mouth.
Really?
Another leaping. How exactly do you do that?
I don't know why you would do that.
Well, in cartoons you do see that though, right? If you remember a lot of Golden Age cartoons, you see like some the animals sometimes get their tail stuck in their mouth and they form a wheel and they get wheeled off.
Yeah, the vacuum cleaner sucks itself up into oblivion.
The other reptiles fight to devour the helpless gator.
Wait, I got my tail caught in my mouth. I'm helpless.
Meanwhile, Shock finds a ladder.
Because they always, why not? Lead you. Where'd I put that ladder? Oh, yeah, it's down in the bayou.
I'll find out where this leads. Back in Von Kamp's headquarters.
Some funny stuff here, huh, RJ?
Yes.
Interesting leaps in logic here.
Shock seizes two stone pillars with his terrific strength. I must wreck this place.
It's a cave. You're underground. Get out.
Oh, boy.
And brings down the roof of the cavern. Meanwhile, miles away from a small fissure in the rocks.
Phew. I was lucky to escape.
Shock, unhurt because of his powers, makes his way to the entrance of the cave. That's all I want to see of Mammoth Cave. I wonder if Von Kampf got away.
Yes, he did. Read back 2 panels.
I have a feeling we shall meet again. Follow the adventures of Chuck Gibson in Speed Comics.
So how did you like that story, RJ?
Oh wow, was that was painful in its silliness some places.
Oh, the leaps in logic, you mean?
The leaps in the plot devices, the repetitive text. It's like he crashed the truck into the bank. He crashed the truck into the bank.
Uh, yeah. Anyways, just a reminder to everybody, if you haven't already, if you guys can like and share the stream so if we can get some more people to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also,
Why wouldn't you like this stream? This stream is awesome. Where else are you going to get this level of entertainment, folks?
yeah. Also,
Prime time.
if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability, as we do have a couple of comments that come on since I was last by here. This is very much narrative, much narrative box telling you what's happening, a picture of what's happening, and the main character soliloquying what's happening.
Soliloquizing what's happening. Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's called chewing up paper.
Golden Age storytelling. I mean, you did have some dialogue there between characters. Maybe not as much as in other stories, but anyway.
Yeah, but the dialogue was telling you what the action was that was already told to you what was happening in the text box.
All right. And here's something that was common back in this day too. You want to read this, RJ?
Here's your chance to be a human dynamo. Join the Chuck Gibson Volunteers. Get a live wire button.
There's that.
I'm not reading all that. TLDR. Fill out coupon.
Yeah. But this is common for this time period too. This is another way they would try to like particularly market towards kids by doing something like this, right?
Because buttons were popular. You'd put them on your beanie or your jacket.
All right, so we'll take a look at some of the artwork there. That's what do you think of the art of the comic here?
Oh, the art was okay.
All right, so this is the other story we're going to hit up for this book. Actually, RJ, if you can talk to everybody for a moment, I do need to step away from the computer for a moment, so I'll be right back. But if you want to, I don't know, talk to maybe give your impressions on what we just read or promote anything or anything like that, I'll be right back.
As often happens whenever I see something sold in comics like this, my first instinct is to find out if any of those buttons were ever made or still exist. And so far, there are no Chuck Gibson buttons on eBay. So I'm looking for Chuck Gibson live wire button. And I see the ad for it, but no, nobody is showing that they've got these buttons for sale. I see other buttons around the same time, but I do not see the Chuck Gibson Speed Comics live wire button. So as far as I'm concerned, they don't exist. They never got made. Possibly the first comic book scam. What can I? Wow. So, Ted Parrish, the Man with 1,000 Faces, is coming up. So you got a free Hot Wheels out of it. So hey, that's something. That's better than them just keeping your 10 cents or whatever. I remember I sent away 10 cents to Charles Atlas for the Charles Atlas course, and it said just send 10 cents. I put 10 pennies in an envelope, put a stamp on it, and it got returned to sender for postage due because apparently 10 pennies was way too heavy for a single stamp, which I thought was ironic because I thought Charles Atlas could lift anything. But nonetheless, it was too heavy to get to him, so I never got my isometric exercise book that would have made a man out of RJ. Spent the rest of my life with people kicking sand in my face. It's terrible, terrible.
Ted Parrish, the man with 1,000 faces. This is the interesting one because we never know who Ted Parrish is. Therefore, uh, we don't know who gets to voice the character. It's, we sometimes both of us end up voicing the character in other different forms until we figure out, oh wait, he's the same guy.
So JR was saying here, I remember mailing away to join a Hot Wheels Kids Club. I got a package 2 months later, and that told me the club was discontinued. But I got a free Hot Wheels Roadster.
Yeah, that's the best part. You got something. You got something that was free Hot Wheels, and it was probably club specific. So hopefully you held on to it.
All right. Yes, I was nearly buried as a youth with all the sand being kicked in my face. Oh,
Yes, I completely get that.
all right. So, anyways, moving on to RJ. You want to go ahead and start this?
Ted Parrish, the man with 1,000 faces, by Bob Stanley. Ted Parrish decides to take a cruise when newspaper headlines shriek the news. Pirate sub in Caribbean, sub rob ship $1,000,000. Pirate sub sink ship, mystery submarine. On the second day out, the cruise ship sights a submarine.
Ahoy! Heave to, or we will fire!
A launch from the submarine brings a boarding party, armed to the teeth.
I want all passengers on deck. You men go below, bring everybody up. And then you want to do that guy right there?
Sure. Si, General. Below, one of the brigands is suddenly attacked by a peaceful-looking passenger. Peace way, old man. What? Doesn't look so peaceful to me now. And now it's no longer him anymore.
Yeah.
See, this is how this story works.
Yeah. You want to continue with that guy right there?
I suppose I'll have to now. I hope this disguise works. I must get aboard that U-boat and get to the bottom of this mystery of the pirate submarine. It's not a mystery. It's a pirate submarine. You've caught them. There's no mystery to it.
Load this loot on the launch. You were wise, Captain, in not resisting us. Adios for now.
They're Spanish pirates. On the submarine.
Hurry, stow that loot away, and we will go quickly. Look out, Pedro, you clumsy fool. The fall must have knocked him out. We'll leave him in his bunk till we get ashore.
Later.
Jaw, that was a good haul. Soon we will have enough to start the revolution. When you get power, you won't forget who gave you the sub. When I am president, you will get the oil rights.
Hey, what's changed in the world? Nothing.
Soon the submarine reaches a lonely spot on the Central American coast. Through the mist looms a fortress. The submarine submerges, then comes up in the courtyard of the fortress. Disguised, Parrish slips away in the confusion of the U-boat's arrival. There must be an underground river under the walls.
Yeah, we just said that. Just go read.
Under the walls of this fort. I'll scout around. This must be an old fort built by the Spanish conquistadores. It is still strong enough to withstand modern weapons. How do you know this? I have enough information now to slip quietly away. Now I shall go call the police. Parrish swims underwater, deep under the walls of the fort. My lungs feel as if they're bursting. There's light ahead. As Ted breaks the surface, he sees a sinister form gliding toward him. An alligator. And I haven't even a knife. Just put his tail in its mouth. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah. One thing that we did talk about, because another character did this too. Yeah, of course the lungs would feel as if they were about to burst, considering he's trying to talk underwater.
Yes. Yeah,
we saw this in another story a few weeks ago too.
Yeah. So technically I should say, while the lungs feel as if they're bursting, there's light ahead. Grasping, oh, here we go. Grasping a floating stick, Parrish thrusts it at the monster's gaping jaws. That's not how that
Now, where have you seen that before? Where have you seen that before?
Different Tarzan movies. But here's the thing. Alligator jaws are real strong this direction. If you want to stop it, you hug its mouth. It can't, it's very weak trying to open. This motion here, it's harder to do if you're holding that. You can hold his mouth closed. Just hold it. Just put your hands around, just hold it. And he won't open them.
The funny thing is, I've seen that in a number of cartoons before too.
Oh yeah,
just stick a stick in somebody's mouth like that, and
of course, his jaws are strong enough that he's going to snap that twig. That's
snap
a twig.
at him too, right?
Yeah. In fact, he would have done it right then, and old Parrish would have been going back with a stub. That will hold him till I reach the bank, which I've now conveniently done. Ted strikes through the jungle. The capital city isn't far from here. Is that him?
No, it might be something. Senor Presidente, here is an Americano. He says he has news for you.
I'm a mining engineer, Mr. President. I made my escape from the rebels, and I can lead you to their hideout. From land, the fortress is almost impregnable, but I have a plan. I'll swim into the fort. At my signal, you attack. Why couldn't somebody else swim? Why did it have to be you? Parrish enters the fort, overpowers a sentry. Sorry, old boy, I want to use your pop gun. Ted trains the cannon on the massive gates of the fort.
Boom!
Apparently, it's not going to withstand modern weaponry. If it doesn't even withstand antique weaponry. Through the gaping hole, the federal troops pour in.
Charge!
Fight.
Let's see. We have taken them completely by surprise. These are their leaders. Splendid. And we have the foreign agent who planned to steal our natural resources. But where is the Americano?
I did not see him, Your Excellency. I'm saying that because that's the Americano in disguise. Because that's what he does. Because here he is in the same shirt, taking off his mask. Says, the worst part of these adventures is that someone always wants to thank me. Watch for another Ted Parrish, the man with 1,000 faces adventure in next month's issue.
So what did you think of that story, RJ?
Even simpler, but less implausible? They're just pirates.
It also only had 4 pages to work with, too.
Yeah.
As opposed to 22. So it had like a fifth of the page count to work with. So the main character just keeps repeating what we have already been told another way. Well, that was comics for you back then. Well, at least just one company's for. I mean, obviously, we don't see this in every. You know, each company has their own way of telling stories. Obviously, you've seen that. You know, we've seen that, right, RJ?
Yeah.
So
Some do it better.
yeah. Well, this is Harvey. This was, basically these were books that were eventually absorbed into Harvey. Harvey, of course, would later give us the likes of, Casper the Friendly Ghost, Wendy, you
Richie
know,
Rich.
Richie Rich, Herman and
Still
Catnip.
convinced that still convinced that Casper is actually Richie Rich's ghost.
What was that?
I'm still convinced that Casper is actually Richie Rich's ghost.
Oh,
Richie's parents killed him for the insurance money.
oh, okay. All right. So, anyways, we'll just kind of read through the rest of the, take a look at somebody. There's Biff Bannon right there. Some kind of cartoony art there. Lieutenant Jim Cannon of the British Navy. Again, just going through the, for the art as Landor, Maker of Magic, Maker of Monsters by Gregory Cody. Is one of the few ones where the bad guy is actually the feature character. Smoke Carter by Joey Martin. Fire Story. Spike Marlin by Carl Larson. And there we go. Now let's get over to the next book. Let's see, where are we at on time here? We're at 51 minutes here. We're coming up on an hour here. So let's see how Champion Comics look. Champion Volume 1, Issue 5 here. I got to get down to small press here and then go over to Worth Carnahan. Get to that. And you might remember this because I think you read The Champ with me once before.
I did. I think I read his first appearance.
Yeah.
He's just an athlete. That's it. He's just an athlete. He's just really, really good.
Well, an athlete who was somehow endowed with a special potion.
Yes, he's Captain America. And he uses his powers to play football for good.
Yeah. Of course, I was mentioning to Rex on his show yesterday. There was a patriotic hero with a shield that predates Captain America. Do you know who that is?
The Fighting American?
The Shield.
Oh, the Shield himself.
He debuted in Pep Comics, believe it or not. Before Pep became the home of Archie.
Yeah, he was one of the Crusaders.
Yeah.
With the Jaguar and the Comet and the Fly and Fly Girl.
So he has Champion Comics. So we're going to read a couple stories out of here. We're going to read The Champ and Penny Wright. So yeah, March, Champion Comics, The Champ, so you got Jungle Man. Let's see, Jungle Man as the main thing, and then you have in the side there The Champ, Jungle Man, Liberty Lads, Neptina, Penny, and many others. All right.
The Champ by George Little. Our story so far. Forced to bail out of the Yellow Spider's sinister airship, the Champ sails earthward, but a stiff land breeze blows him out over the lake. He is in for a wetting.
For a wetting? Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. He's in for a wedding. Kidney failure at such a young age is terrible.
Oh man.
The icy waters of Lake Michigan close over the Champ. Getting his pocket knife out, Champ slashes the parachute straps and kicks free of the clinging fabric.
With powerful strokes, Champ swims for a distant speedboat.
Thanks, mister. Lucky for me you happen to be around. Brrr. But the water's cold. You want to do the captain there?
Say, you're some swimmer. Get aboard, young fella, and I'll have you ashore in a jiffy.
Jiffy was right. That's quite a boat you have there, mister.
Captain Lester, and glad to be of service. Let me drive you up to my house to get dry. It's not far. You ever been in a Turkish prison? A little while later, at Captain Lester's bungalow. I don't suppose you dropped out of the clouds just because you got tired waiting for a trolley car. What'd you do? Jump out of a plane?
Well, sir, I'm grateful for your timely aid, and I don't wish to seem unduly secretive, but
Okay. Think nothing of it. So you were waiting for a trolley car,
they call me the champ. Captain, someday I may be able to tell you all about it, but now, may I use your phone? Yes, Harrigan, it's me. I'm okay, but a bit wet. Got dunked in the lake. Sure, that'll be fine. Send a car for me at... Goodbye, Captain, and thanks again. You're a swell guy. And you notice they didn't have him say the address in the panel there. You notice that?
Yep, they trailed it off. Good luck, son. Whatever you're up to, I'll wager it's on the level. I'm for you.
All right. So I'll let you do Harrigan, but I'll continue to do Champ here. Got to get that spider, fellow Harrigan. That's all there is to it, and that means a plane. Know anybody with a plane, a fast one?
Plane? Why, yeah. Bird Kelly has his own crate. Used to be a war pilot back in 18. He's a stunt flyer now over in LaGrange. We'll look him up.
I'll let you do the pilot there as well.
Sure, Harrigan. You can count on me. I'll fly your friend to the moon if you say so.
How about giving me a few flying lessons just in case, you know?
He's okay, Bird. Just show him the ropes and he'll be a pilot in no time. You're on, fella. Meet me here tomorrow morning and we'll take that first lesson. So we got to get to the spider real quick, but not that quick.
Again, another leap in logic, right?
Yeah. Champ takes the air. You're doing fine, bud. Sure you never flew before?
You're a good teacher.
Later, at police headquarters, Champ gets permission to go after the yellow spider. Gets permission to go after...
You want to do the chief there?
It's risky, but if it's the only way to get the yellow devil, go to it. Okay with you, Mr. Kelly?
I'll say, gosh, I've had no action for months, and from what I hear about this here spider, it will be a pleasure to bag him.
There's a real bad guy out there. Is it okay if I go get him? No, we're the cops. We'll go get him. Tell us where he's at.
You see, Chief, it will be necessary for Bird to take me up and have no flying license. I have no flying license. My experience is limited.
Limited? Say, Chief, that guy already knows more about flying than I do.
It's all fixed with Colonel Harkness for a Army combat plane, Kelly. It's still a Army Reserve pilot, so it's all right. Guess you haven't forgotten how to use a machine gun, have you, Kelly?
While up above the clouds there floats an ominous shadow, the airship of the Yellow Spider. Next day, it is clear and cold and clear as Champ and Bird Kelly find a beautiful new plane awaiting them. Only I'd had a baby like that in the war, I'd pinned a rose on the Kaiser himself.
It is a neat ship, just what we want. Well, let's not waste any time.
The giant motors roar as Bird Kelly makes a perfect takeoff.
Hum.
You sure you can find that airship?
No, but I've sort of a hunch it hasn't been moved. With luck, we'll see it. Well,
It's a big sky, Champ. It's a big sky, and it's been 2 days. But yeah, he ain't moved. He's hovering right there the whole time. Yeah. Luck is with the Champ, and the Spider's airship looms dead ahead.
You were saying, RJ?
That's it. He's parked. Dropped an anchor. He's not moving. As they race toward the huge gray dirigible, Bird attempts to get above it. Suddenly the radio speaks.
So the insolent puppy returns to snap at my heels. Away, fool, for you cannot touch the yellow spider.
Take the controls, Champ, while I feed your Oriental friend a bit of hot lead.
Right, here goes.
A hail of bullets greets the yellow spider's message. Motors, they're stopped. They stopped dead, Champ. What happened?
I can stop any motor at any distance. Now crash, fools.
Ugh! They got me, Champ. They got me. Take over, pal. I'm hit. Meanwhile, the motor stopped, but the propellers are still going.
Residual kinetic energy there, RJ.
Yeah, that it also known as the Wile E. Coyote effect. You run off the cliff, and then you fall.
And you put up a little sign that says, "Why me?"
Yes.
Anyways, okay. So the elk. Let's get this before we continue on here. I repeat my observation that the quality of the sequential art storytelling was good to very good, while Golden Age writing was terrible in comparison.
I cannot argue with that. Suddenly, the crippled plane goes into a sickening dive. Down, down! Destruction seems certain. But Champ's cool head and the skillful handling bring the ship to a miraculous safe landing in a cleared field. Because he's just that darn good at everything. Furious at being again bested by the hated yellow spider, Champ resolves to find a way to reach the little dwarf.
There must be an. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just commenting on the fact that he's a little dwarf, because there are bigger ones.
There must be an insulator for that theta ray of the spiders, and I'm going to find it.
Okay, but just how do you expect to locate that insulator?
I have it. Professor Hansen back at Midwest. He knows all there is to know about rays and things. I'll go back to Midwest tonight, Harrigan.
Hope the trains are running. It's been snowing something fierce all evening.
And look at that. Doesn't that just remind you of a Christmas moment or winter moment? The middle circle there.
Yeah, it's a Christmas miracle for Champ.
Certainly is a heavy snow, cold too. Well, so long, Harrigan. I'll keep in touch. With you.
If that train stalls, you may have to go by ski, but that shouldn't bother you. You're some guy, Champ.
Well, I guess these are some different people. So,
Couple of different strangers there. Yeah.
Hey Teddy, look, here's the champ. Glad to see you, fella. You want to do the other guy?
Boy, oh boy, you're just in time. Did the dean send for you?
Why no, Casey? What's up? We've got a sleigh. Come on, and we'll take you over to the school. We can explain on the way.
It's our science prof, Old Hanson. He's stranded up on Bald Eagle Mountain and he's hurt.
Yeah, and we're afraid he'll die up there in this storm. Nobody seems to know what to do. That's why I thought they'd sent for you. Yes, it was a scientific expedition to the top of the mountain, and they were caught in this heavy storm. Professor Hansen sprained his leg and had to be left on a ledge while the boys came back for help. Professor Hansen is the man I want to see most right now. Okay, Dean, round up some equipment and I'll start at once.
The forbidding heights of Bald Eagle frown down through the blizzard. The rescue party, led by the champ, gets underway.
Now here's the plan, fellows. You establish a base here, get a fire going, and some coffee. Spike, Barry, and I will go up and try to locate Professor Hansen.
That's narrative, but it sure looks like a thought bubble, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Up into the very teeth of the storm. Champ and his pals buck the fury of the icy blasts.
Up there by the big boulder. I see it's a man. It's a professor.
Gosh, Champ, you have keen eyes. I can't see a thing. It is the professor, but he's nearly gone.
We've got to get him to shelter in a hurry. Boys, here, Barry, you take the equipment, and I'll take Professor Hansen. You go ahead, Spike, and tell the gang we're coming.
Hey, you can't carry the professor down. You'll both be frozen before you reach camp.
No, Spike, I'm afraid there is no time for a proper descent. I'm going to ski down.
What? And carry a man too? Champ, you're just plain nuts. To try it. Why, it's suicide.
Nevertheless, it has to be done. Here goes. What do you think of this idea, RJ?
He's the champ. Sure. Yeah, sure. Fireman's carry ski slope.
If anybody can do it, he can, right? If anybody can do it, exactly. The champ can, right?
Yes. Champ, he's our man.
If he can't do it, no one can. Right?
Absolutely. Skimming down the perilous slopes like a bird, Champ bears his human burden toward the valley and safety, which means that he's going to get there before the people he sent ahead to prepare. Okay. Leaping over yawning crevasses and treacherous gullies, Champ speeds down. While at the base camp, the rest of the rescue party anxiously awaits word from their heroic companions. Suddenly, a cry goes up. A woman screams,
"Here comes someone on skis! It's the champ! And he's carrying something! He's got the professor! He carried him all the way down on skis! If I hadn't seen it, I'd never believe it. Get the professor to the hospital in a hurry. I'll wait here for Spike and Barry. See you in town later. What a man!
Champ, that was the greatest bit of skiing on record.
Ah, forget it. I just had to get Professor Hanson down. That's all. That's all. Come on. I'll race you to town.
Sure.
No, no problem, Bruce. Come on, I'll race you back to Metropolis.
Shut up. Not me, pal. I'm all in. Gosh, I don't believe you're even winded.
Carried a man all the way down Bald Eagle on skis. And now what's the race? Barry, our champ friend, is too much for me. Okay. I think we switched off there. But anyways.
A week later. A week later, mind you. Mind you, it's a week later. The yellow spider will still be parked in his same spot. A week later, Professor Hanson has recuperated enough to talk with Champ, his rescuer.
You want to do the professor there, RJ?
Sure.
Of course, I'll help you all I can. The Theta Ray is a pet subject of mine. I'll be well and on the job by Monday.
Thanks, Professor. I'll meet you at your laboratory, and we'll work on the insulator. I've just got to put the yellow spider out of business.
Monday, and Champ keeps his date.
Good morning, Professor. I hope you are none the worse for your accident.
Thanks to you, my boy, I'm now perfectly all right, and I have good news too.
You don't mean that you found it, the insulator, I mean.
Just that. I think I have solved the problem of full insulation against the Theta Ray. Come, help me with the experiment. Experiment proves the professor's discovery to be successful. Champ is jubilant.
Hey, this is what we call, we don't need to see it happen. We just know it does.
You've done it, Professor. You've done it. Now to make a motor shield for a plane and go after the yellow spider.
Champ puts in a few hours of intensive work in the thoroughly equipped machine shop at Midwest.
Well, that's that. Now, to get back to Bird Kelly and the business of cleaning up the spider's headquarters.
And produces the special insulator needed to protect an airplane motor from the powerful theta rays.
You know, Sean, I think that narration should have gone before I spoke.
It should have, but you know,
we've seen this happen quite a bit where they don't always put the narrative boxes where they should be.
Yep. Let's see here. I don't know who that is.
I think I did him before. I think that might be the dean, actually.
Oh, that's the dean. Yeah. Okay.
Under the circumstances, my boy, I cannot very well refuse you anything. Just don't take any more time than necessary, and I wish you every success. Thank you, sir. As soon as I've completed this little job, I'll be back to Midwest in my studies.
Champ hurries back to the city where he and Bird equip a plane with the insulator. All is ready for the raid on the Spider.
Hope we don't run into snow up there. Anyway, we have the latest de-icers. We'll get going at once, right?
Right. Just let me at them with these new type hand grenades. They'll think a war has started sure enough.
Hand grenades.
New type. Yeah, they're new type hand grenades. These actually explode when we throw them at them now. The other ones just bounced off. I've checked the position, and the airship seems to be gone.
No kidding.
We should have sighted it by this time.
Maybe they had to rise above a storm. Let's climb another 1,000 feet and see.
Champ was right. Soon the hovering airship comes into view.
He's got some pretty good instincts. He's either clairvoyant or he's got some pretty good instincts, huh?
Yeah. And why are they after the yellow spider? He ain't doing nothing. He just sitting there. He just in his airship, just hovering around. He's just a little black rain cloud.
Well, I think the
Hovering
yellow
over.
spider was the guy who killed his mentor, his
Oh,
foster
okay.
father, as I
Ah,
recall, if I remember the earlier stories. So you would again try the patience of the yellow spider. This time there will be no escape. You are at my mercy, and I have no mercy. Ha 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 ha.
it's a joke. A pause, and the plane rapidly approaches the looming dirigible. The yellow spider is directing his theta ray without effect. Bird sends his plane into a steep climb to get above the airship. Could have done that like a mile back, coming over it.
May the gods bless you. You have found some way to ward off my ray, but it will do you no good. You're a dead man, even now. Even now. Ho ho. Stop, bird. Don't throw it. We'll be the ones to suffer if you do. That infernal ray will explode the grenade as soon as it leaves your hand. And that'll wreck our ship.
But what will we do? We have no machine gun this trip, because we counted on the grenades.
Just circle under the ship and get as close as you can. Leave the rest to me.
Champ crawls out on the wing as the plane zooms beneath the airship.
What do you think he's trying to do right there? What do you think he's having him try to do?
He's
Right?
going to climb up into the ship. Of course, the ship is hovering and the plane can't hover, so it can't like match speed or anything. He's just going to have to jump out at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, but I think he's also trying to get in the guy's blind spot too.
Oh, well, yeah, probably.
More or less what I was thinking. But let's see how this story goes.
Under the forward gondola, Champ grabs a dangling cable. Oh, it was already there for you. Okay, great. A dangling cable and swings himself clear. Unseen by the Yellow Spider's crew, Champ hauls himself up the cable.
So basically he tried to jump to a point to where, obviously grabbing a cable, and you see I was kind of right there too. He's kind of trying to catch them in their blind spot.
Yeah. At least he was wearing a parachute in case he missed, but he wouldn't because he's the champ.
Mm-hmm.
Bird Kelly swings the plane in a huge arc and heads back toward the airship. While aboard the airship, the Yellow Spider abandons his theta ray projector in a rage.
Curse that meddling young fool! If I had him here, You'd what, Spider? Here I am. Your wish is answered. Help! Como? He's here! Yell now, you dirty little insect, for when I get my hands on you.
But the spider reaches for a heavy switch and pulls it down.
Trapdoor. Either trapdoor or falling cage. I don't know which one. Oh.
There is a blinding flash, and Champ is hurled backward by a terrific force.
So basically not what you thought, huh?
Not what I thought.
They threw you a curve there, didn't they, RJ?
It was just a big boom.
Champ is trapped in the flaming gondola as the spider cuts the end of the catwalk. Champ grasps the dangling cable and swings clear of the roaring flame. Bird swoops under just in time for Champ to regain the plane by sheer strength and agility.
Wow.
So he made him hit the self-destruct.
Howdy, fella. Come on in and stay a while.
Get over them now. Now that ray machine is out of commission, so we can use our pineapples. And pineapples in this case are, RJ?
Hand grenades.
Right. That was an alternate term used for hand grenades, these pineapples. There you are, Yellow Spider, in memory of Dr. Marlin.
It is a direct hit. There is a burst of livid flame, and the airship of the Yellow Spider is no more.
Let's go, Bird. I can't look. That's the end of the Yellow Spider. And Will, he deserves it, but well, I guess I'm no soldier.
Okay, champ, I know just how you feel, and you are a soldier. Back again at Chicago Police Headquarters, Champ receives some news.
This came for you about an hour ago. Thanks, Chief. It's from Midwest. I wonder what's up now.
If you want to find Faye Madsen, look up the Hammonds on Lakeshore Drive, a friend. What? Who?
Yeah, they just kind of put that out there. Just like the guy on the far left there, I think, is Harrigan. I had you doing Harrigan.
Yeah, I thought Harrigan's in the blue suit. So I don't know who this guy in the orange coat is.
I think the Harris. Oh, I thought Harrison was the one in the blue suit, but
Harrigan's the one in the blue suit. I don't know who the orange suit guy is with the derby.
Who is this Faye person? Thought you were a woman hater.
Yeah, champ. How about it? Maybe she's got a friend.
You're all wrong, man. This girl's poison. Who could have sent me this tip from the Midwest? In any case, it will bear investigation. Gee, I've got to get back to college, but this looks important. Where's the phone book? Let's see if there is a family by the name of Hammond on Lakeshore Drive. Here you are, Admiral Philip Westbrook Hammond, retired. Say, he's a big shot. Good, let's go, Harrigan.
How about me? Wait up. Champ and his two friends speed off to fashionable Lakeshore Drive. New adventures next month.
Yeah, I thought so. I think the guy in orange was actually Harrigan, because if you look at that exchange right there,
yeah, but it was always that guy with the mustache the whole time. So because he looked more like he was like the Oscar Goldman to the $6 Million Man. So I don't. Suddenly we had Terrible Turpin joining the crew.
Oh, terrible Dan Turpin.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you knew this, because I learned this from my earlier studies of DC. You know that Dan Turpin, I guess, and I don't know if this is retconned later or what have you, but apparently Dan Turpin was originally Brooklyn, a part of the Boy Commandos.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
According to now, I know this, it's a wiki source, but according to the DC database wiki, Dan Turpin and Brooklyn were one and the same.
Huh. Well, that's cool to know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them do that with the rest of them.
We're making some good time here, so we're going to do one more story, then start to wrap up here a bit. We're going to do one more story here. But before we read the Queer Championships, now, of course, in this case, queer has a totally different meaning back in these days as compared to now. It just simply means strange. I'll go ahead and read these. Odd diet. Chevalier Clicquot, most famous of all sword swallowers, once swallowed 14 swords up to their hilts. Wow, that's kind of dangerous. Liable to cut up his insides. All right, so let's see. Not to be envied. Jack Hughes, pitching for Carbondale High School, twirled a no-run, no-hit game, but lost 2-0. Yeah, and that can't happen. That actually has happened in the major leagues in recent years a couple of times in the last 40 years or
walked 6 guys minimum. He walked a minimum of 6 guys.
Right. John Jackson, a famous English fighter, could write his name on the wall with an 84-pound weight tied to his pinky. Look at that! Wow, dude was strong, wasn't he?
Yeah, I've never seen an 84-pound weight before. I mean, usually they're like in blocks of 5, right?
Yeah. Blimey, I'll moiter the bum. A part of England's coronation ceremony requires an appointed champion of England to challenge to mortal combat any sorry knave who questions the authority of the king. Oh boy. Talk about queer championships. That's a little strange.
Yeah.
Oh boy. And finally here, Hank Fiorito of Nashville not only played 9 different positions in one game, but also received credit as the winning pitcher. So Nashville at the time was a minor league team. Still is a minor league team, but splat. I didn't get a chance to ump. Oh boy. Anyways, that was kind of a fun read, huh? Here's Tina. Revenge of the Zombies. The champions of. Notice how they have a lot of titles of champions. Blazing Scarab. What do you think of the artwork here?
That artwork's really good. Very detailed.
Mm-hmm. Trial by Fire. Here we go. Penny Wright feature writer. This is the one I wanted to cat. Let's see. Hour 28. So as I said, we'll get through this and wrap up here. So. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I should have let you read the title because you're the narrator.
It's 2 words. It's Penny Wright, feature writer by Jim Barry. Penny has flown to London to cooperate with Todd Sterling, her paper's correspondent there, as the authorities hunt a notorious spy known as the Owl, a mysterious figure who wears thick-lensed spectacles.
And I think he's kind of behind the curtain there, you notice.
I was going to say, yeah, he's not hiding too far away.
All right, you want to do the guy in the blue suit there, the London correspondent?
Wow, there's a reception tonight to a delegation from Iraq regarding oil concessions. I'll arrange for you to come along. I did not know it was called Iraq then.
I think that night is narration, and then it's,
Yeah, I was looking up when Iraq became Iraq. Apparently, it was in 636. It was a long time ago. That night, that's Cora Zender with Hafiz Bey. She's a popular hostess in diplomatic circles. What's wrong?
I think the guy on the right is the London correspondent.
Oh, okay. Somebody's hurt there. A member of the delegation lies dead beyond the curtain.
It's murder. And with a knife. Look at that mark on his throat. This is serious, gentlemen. Some important papers are missing.
What's this?
Someone whacked me down. A man with glasses.
Here's another poor fellow. He looks dead.
Let's get after the man who did it. He can't have gotten far.
There he goes.
Look at her running in that dress.
Yeah, right. Penny stares into the face of the owl. With a vicious swing, the owl knocks Penny backwards. Hey!
Dress and all.
A true villain.
Well, I guess he got away.
What have you there?
I found a very important clue. In fact, I practically know who the owl is. Wow, right there. She finds one little clue and she knows who the owl is already. That's kind of a straightforward. That's quite a jump, huh?
Yes. He wears glasses. He must be Clark Kent. Next day, Cora calls on Penny at her office.
Miss Wright, I was glad to meet you last evening. I thought I'd drop in to see you. I'll be glad to introduce you to lots of important people. Why not have tea with me this afternoon?
Of course. I'd love to.
Later, Penny visits Cora's luxurious apartment.
What a curious ring. May I hold it?
Certainly, for a moment.
Just then, a servant requests Cora's urgent attention. As Cora leaves the room, Penny acts fast and leaves by the nearest window. Jewelry theft. Okay.
and she's like jumping out a window in that dress again.
Yeah. That night, Todd leaves Penny's apartment after a conference on the owl. Okay, Penny. I'll see you in the morning.
Good night, Todd.
As soon as Todd leaves, a sinister figure appears through the window. No one uses the door. Everyone's going through windows.
Don't utter a sound or I'll shoot.
A block away, Todd misses his gloves and turns back. Gosh, this fog is rolling in fast. I wonder if Penny's still up.
Help!
He hears a piercing scream. It comes from Penny's room.
Where's that ring?
Todd smashes the door down in the nick of time. The intruder beats a hasty retreat. All together now.
The owl.
The owl.
The owl.
Penny and Todd follow and see another face as a car flees. A military patrol car drives up.
Follow that car. It's the owl.
In the heavy, swirling fog, the fugitive car crashes into a post. No, that big green car was thrown into a post by Superman on Action Comics #1 cover. Two figures leap out and flee into the shadows.
Come on, I see them.
We'll get it. In desperation, the fugitives leap over a thick hedge. Penny and Todd follow and find themselves in the midst of an anti-aircraft battery. Wait, what? Wait, what?
Oh, remember, they're in London. This is 1940. You know, London's already in World War II at this point,
Yeah.
even if America's not. So here's one of them. The other got away. Not if I can help it.
The fleeing figure steals a car. Penny luckily picks up a motorcycle detail.
The owl just went that way. Give me a lift, and we can have him.
At the waterfront, the fugitive takes to a boat. The pursuers are close behind.
This way, miss. The rocket's along Mullins. Bring the rocket along Mullins.
On the river, a patrol boat quickly overhauls the fleeing launch.
Heave to, or we'll sink you. Why, it's a woman. I knew it all the time. It's Cora Zenders, alias the Owl. Wow! What a twist!
Well, at least the owl's not a chauvinist now for hitting a woman.
I suspected her when I found a bit of her dress on the wall. Here's the ring she used to kill the diplomat. It hides a small knife which carries a swift and deadly poison. You want to do the officer here?
We are much indebted to you, miss. His Majesty's government will be informed of your valued services. At Penny's office.
Now that the spy is caught, I'll get my story off.
Go to it, Penny. Get to work.
And there we go. So, how did you like that story, RJ?
I think I missed a few chapters.
Yeah, I think that was actually the first story in the series, believe it or not. Because
Really?
Yeah.
We're just joined in the middle of the action.
Yeah. So we're at an hour 38. So I think it's a good time to start winding down. If you don't mind hanging out afterwards for a couple minutes for post show.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the selections? That we went through like 4 stories there. Let's see. I think something like 9 and like 43 pages there. What did you think overall of the selections?
Mostly fun. It was some silly silliness in the plot devices there for a little bit, but
Some leaps of logic, right?
It was the golden age.
Yeah. But they were throwing stuff on the wall, just seeing what stuck and all that. So, yeah. So, anyways, now with all that, what we're gonna do now today being Friday, December 29th. Of course, second to our last broadcast for 2023. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look back at this day in each history. As I said, second to the last segment of this for 2023, and then starting Monday, of course, will be into 2024, and I'll explain more of that later. Let's see, 2018, 1933, 2003, and 1953. Okay, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and take a look back at this day in each history. First off, I'm going to head back 90 years ago, as on this date, 90 years ago today, Fleischer Studios' Wild Elephants premiered in theaters on this date back in 1933, 90 years ago today. Popeye and Olive Oyl land in the jungle and must fight off various animals, including wild elephant and gorilla. Now, I recently actually saw this cartoon on Tune In With Me. This is a cartoon where Popeye basically punches a bunch of jungle animals into basically wardrobe. I don't know if you remember that cartoon. Of course, they still had Billy Costello doing the voice of Popeye at this point. Bonnie Poe was doing Olive Oyl. This is before, of course, Mae Quetzal took over. And William Pennell was the lion with Charles Lawrence doing the voice of
Mae Quetzal, who also did Betty Boop.
Right.
And I did not realize that I've actually seen her in live action film. If you've ever seen a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, she's the grandmother with the cat who makes all the weird food that nobody wants to eat.
Yeah, she was born in 1908 and died in, I think, 1998 at the age of 89. She died like a couple months before her 90th birthday. So, yeah, but, of course, Bonnie Poe was the first Olive Oyl here. Billy Costello was Popeye for the first couple of years, from 1933 to 1930. In fact, I was reading this earlier because they were showing another Popeye cartoon earlier today. Billy Costello got fired for quote-unquote bad behavior. You want to know what that bad behavior supposedly was?
Did he smoke a pipe?
Nope. According to them, he was basically asking for money. He was seeing how popular Popeye was becoming and was suggesting that he should get more money for playing the role. Oh. So they decided to fire him and replaced him with Jack Mercer, who would end up being Popeye for the next 50 years or so.
But cheaply.
Yeah. Well, Jack Mercer did a number of voices for both Fleischer and Famous Studios. He was also a writer as well. So, but with that, 90 years ago today, Wild Elephants from Fleischer Studios premiered in movie theaters, distributed by, of course, Paramount Pictures. So, moving on to the next piece of niche history here. Moving on to 1953, 70 years ago today. The 15th issue of T-Man from Quality Comics went on sale on this date back in 1953, 70 years ago today. It sold for 10 cents and was 32 pages. There we go with that one. Now, moving on to the next piece of niche history. On this date in 2003, 20 years ago today. Oops, I guess that was the wrong one. Okay, so you there, RJ?
I'm right here.
Okay, I just
typing something in.
All right, so let me see that. Okay. On this date, 2003, the very last Monday Night Raw for 2003 that year, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the SBC Center in San Antonio, Texas. The main event saw Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a double pin in a World Heavyweight Championship match. Also on that match, in a Happy Holiday 6-woman tag team match, Lita, Stacy Keibler, and Trish Stratus teamed up to defeat Miss Jackie, Molly Holly, and Victoria. Randy Orton retained the Intercontinental Championship over Booker T. And Eddie Kramer and Russell Simpson defeated the Dudley Boys via DQ with Ric Flair as a special guest referee. So, and then you had the show open with RVD defeating Scott Steiner, Rob Van Dam defeating Scott Steiner. So that all happened 20 years ago today. And then happening 5 years ago today, on this date, 5 years ago today in 2018, let's see. PA Works, Iroduku, The World in Colors, would complete its run on Japanese television on this date in 2018. So 5 years ago today, PA Works Iroduku, The World in Colors, would complete its run on Japanese television on this date 5 years ago. So there you go. So we thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I hope you got a lot out of it. And with that, we'll be back, of course, on Sunday with with our end of the year, with the weekend edition, with a special edition of the weekend edition, the year-end special. Hopefully, I'll have some guests on. With that, I thank everybody for being here. RJ, did you want to share any final thoughts or final words before we
like, share, subscribe? It's easy. You can do it all in one click.
All right. With that, we thank you all, and we'll see you all on Sunday. Bye.